Today's assignment is IXL section I.5, right variable equations. I'm going to do several examples. Let me first start off by reminding you of some basic things and telling you what to watch out for, okay? Okay, so a couple words you might remember from middle school. Sum, difference, product, and quotient. You need to know those. All right, first of all, the sum is the result you get when you add two or more numbers. The result you get when you add. When you add, what you get is this called the sum. Okay, la suma. El resultado que cogen cuando suman dos o más números. Difference is the result you get when you subtract two numbers. So difference is when you subtract. Okay, aquí la diferencia es el resultado que uno coge cuando resta dos números. El resultado cuando resta dos números. The product, the result you get when you multiply two or more numbers. Okay, el producto es el resultado cuando se multiplica dos o más números. And the quotient is the result you get when you divide two numbers. El cociente es el resultado cuando se divide dos números. Alright, so sum is addition, difference, subtraction. Product means multiply, and the quotient means you gotta divide. Okay, la suma quiere decir que tiene que sumar. La diferencia tiene que restar. El producto tiene que multiplicar. Y el cociente quiere decir que tiene que dividir. Alright, let me tell you what's the main thing you gotta watch out for. I used to teach this all the time in middle school, and in middle school, kids would really struggle with this. Hopefully, you guys will do a little better. But the main thing to watch out for is this. When you see these phrases, fewer than and less than, students constantly mess those up because when you see those phrases, you got to reverse the order of the numbers. What I mean is this. If you see that it says 5 fewer than 12, you do not write 5 minus 12. That would be wrong because 5 minus 12 is negative 7. 5 fewer than 12, you got to write 12 minus 5. All right? The second number would go first and the first number would go next. 5 fewer than, you got to write minus 5. Whoops. I'm sorry. Okay, so again, 5 fewer than, you write like this, minus 5. And you write this number in the front. For some of you, that's obvious. For other people, they'll mix that up and they'll write 5 minus 12, okay? Let me just say that real quick in Spanish before I do the other ones. Okay, lo principal que tienen que tener cuidado es cuando ven estas frases. Los dos básicamente quieren decir menos que. Y cuando ven esas dos frases, por ejemplo, aquí dice 5 menos que 12. Todo el mundo sabe que 5 menos que 12 sería 7. Pero el problema es que si cuando van a escribir eso en matemática, eso quiere decir que se tiene que escribir cuando vean 5 menos que, eso se escribe menos 5. Y el 12 se escribe al principio. Si lo escriben así, eso está mal. Esto es 12 menos que 5, no 5 menos que 12. Porque si lo escriben así, el resultado sería negativo 7. If you write it this way, the answer is negative 7. And as you can see here, the answer is 7, not negative 7. Okay? Same thing, look at the next one. 2 fewer than. 2 fewer than, you gotta write that like this. 2 menos que 100. Se escribe así, 100 menos 2. En esa orden. Alright, same thing with the less than. So 10 less than 30. You would write it like this. Minus 10. 10 less than, you gotta write minus 10. And you put this number in the front. 10 menos que 30. 10 menos que se escribe menos 10. Y este número se escribe al frente. Same thing here. 3 less than 8 is 5. 3 menos que 8 is 5. By the way, I don't know if it comes out in these in this IXL we're doing today, but just because it comes out in other math problems, is always means the equal sign. Is, the word is, you always put the equal sign. So whenever you see that in a word problem, the word is, just substitute it with the equal sign. When you're trying to write it out, the problem as an equation, to translate it to algebra. Okay, cuando vean la palabra is, no estoy seguro si esto sale en lo que vamos a hacer ahora, pero sí sale en muchos problemas con palabras de matemática. Cuando están traduciendo esto al álgebra, La palabra is siempre lo traducen a el signo de igual. Is siempre el signo de igual. Alright, let's look at some examples. ¿Alguno ejemplo? Alright, this is what, alright, I guess it is on the problems. Okay, so all you gotta do is write this out as an algebra equation. You don't even have to solve it. So a lot of them are really easy. Okay, simplemente tienen que traducir cada ejemplo, cada problema a álgebra. Ni lo tienen que resolver. Es simplemente traducirlo a álgebra. Alright, so 80 is, I said, is the equal sign. I mean, is, it keeps going, is the same as, but that means equals, okay? Es lo mismo que, 80 es lo mismo que the product of G and 205. The product means multiply, el producto de G y 205. And the only thing I want to point out is that you always write the number in front of the variable. You always write the number in front of the variable. You never write it like this. This is totally wrong. That's wrong. You don't do that. Siempre se escribe el número al frente del variable. Nunca se escribe así. Esto está mal. And that's it. That's my answer. Así, esa es la respuesta. 80 is the product, is the same as the product of G and 205. F fewer than. Alright, so, whoops. Alright, so F fewer than, that means it's going to be like this. Let me write it over here. F fewer than. F menos que 297 equals 173. F fewer than, you write minus F, 297 equals 173. And that's my answer. Esa es la respuesta. 104 is the same as 104 es lo mismo que, is the same as n divided by 391. Notice right here it says you could type the slash, type a slash if you want to use a division sign. Aquí dice que podemos poner este slash, esta línea, esta raya para división. Alright, so the answer you would just write like this: 104 equals n slash 391. 104 es lo mismo que n dividido por 391. 3 is equal to, 3 es igual a 212 added to Q. 212 sumado a Q. Hope I said that right in Spanish. Okay, y ahí está mi respuesta. Next one. These are easy. I'm doing a lot of examples, but I'll be done fast. 270. Towards the end, they get more interesting. 270 is equal to 270 es igual a, is equal to, es igual a the quotient, el cociente, that means divide. Eso quiere decir dividir, of B and 122. You got to put it in that order. Se tiene que poner en esa orden. When you're dividing, the order matters. Just like when you're subtracting, the order matters. When you're dividing, the order also matters. Cuando están dividiendo o restando, la orden es muy importante. So there's my answer. I'm not going to write it again. Ahí está la respuesta. Okay, so this one, 313 and T. All right, look, we haven't seen that one, but whenever they put and, that means you add. And T more. Well, hold on. Let me think for 1 second. 313. Well, you know what? Never mind. Let's look at the whole thing together because it says and T more. So that's telling you you're adding. Okay? 313 y T más. Y T más. And T more. That means you got to add T. Is the same as. Es igual que. By the way, that's a T. Esto es una T y esto es el signo de sumar. So that's T and that's the add sign. Alright, so that would be the answer for that one. And by the way, in case you're wondering, because I'm just thinking from your point of view, from the student point of view, maybe some of you are like, huh? 313 plus a number equals 310? The number would have to be negative 3. If I put negative 3 here, that works. That would be the solution, okay? Por si acaso están pensando, ¿cómo eso puede ser? 313 más un número te da 310. Sí puede ser, porque t es igual a negativo 3. Si le sumo negativo 3, es igual que restar 3. All right, moving on. Just in case anybody was thinking that. All right, so next one is easy. They're all easy. J times 339. J times quiere decir multiplicar. J multiplicado por J multiplicado 339 veces. Wait, hold on. Let me start again. J multiplicado por 339. Times quiere decir multiplicar. Just remember that you gotta write the number in front of the letter. Recuerden que se escribe el número al frente de la letra. Equals 89. Okay, 113 is the total. Okay, so 113 is the total of 319 and P. Okay, the total means you gotta add. The total means you gotta add. El total quiere decir que se tiene que sumar. So 319 and P. Okay, 80 less than Z. So as soon as I see 80 less than, a la vez que yo veo 80 menos que, that's going to be this, 80 less than. The Z goes in the front. La Z lo pongo al frente. 80 less than Z is equal sign. 311. Oh yeah. There we go. Okay. Next one. 176 equals 176 es igual a you increased by 15. Increased by, that means you gotta add. If you have $10 and I increase what you have by 15, you would have $25. You don't multiply, because if you multiply, you'd have $150. So increased by means add. Estas dos palabras, esto quiere decir aumentado por. Creo que hay una mejor manera de traducirlo, pero en estos momentos solamente puedo pensar de esa manera. U aumentado por 15. Aumentado por quiere decir sumar. Alright? U increased by 15. Okay, look, I didn't include this at the beginning, but reduced by, that means the same as less than or fewer than. Reduced by. No, hold on. No, my bad. I take that back. I was just kidding. I take that back. Sorry about that. Now that I think about it. 324 reduced by K, that means you're subtracting K from it. Alright, so it's in that order. My mistake. Sorry about that. Okay, 324 reducido por K. Así que se escribe en esta orden. Por poco hice un error, pero no. 324 reducido por K se escribe en esta orden. Is the same as, es igual que 334. Alright, so that would be your answer. Okay, D. I put a lot of examples, but I'm going through them really quickly. I'll be done soon, trust me, even though there's a lot of examples. D is equal to. D es igual a 127 fewer than, so 127 menos que, se escribe así. The product of M and 277. El producto de M y 277. Product means multiply. El producto quiere decir multiplicar. So that would be how you write your answer. D equals 277M minus 127. Okay? D is equal to 127 fewer than the product of M and 277. This es igual a 127 menos que el producto de M y 277. H less than, that's this. 295 is T. 165 is the same as 165 es lo mismo que Z divided by, dividido por 370. I couldn't decide whether to say it in English or Spanish. 370. Okay? 165 es lo mismo que Z dividido por 370. A is A is 341 fewer than 341 menos que the product of 144 and R, el producto de 144 y R. F equals the quotient means divide, el cociente quiere decir dividir, of F and 40. Alright? It doesn't matter if you're using the same letter. That's what it says to write. That's what I'm going to write. Okay? F es igual a el cociente de F y 40. Simplemente lo estoy traduciendo. No me importa resolver esto. Simplemente escribirlo correctamente. 34 is the product of 34 is 34 es el producto de the product of 113 and A increased by 143. Okay, first of all, the product of 113 and A, el producto de 113 y A, increased by 143, aumentado por 143. There's my answer. Ahí está mi respuesta. I should be done soon. I've done a lot. Alright, the product of P and 2, el producto de P y 2, so 2P, decreased by 320. Decreased by. Guys, this is what I normally do. I go like this. Look, I even had it ready. Alright, let me see. Oops. Hold on. And then I pretend like I knew it all along. Okay? Decreased by, disminuido por. Okay, so let's go back to this. Hold on. The product of P and 2, el producto de P y 2, decreased by 320, disminuido por 320, is P. There's my answer. Ahí está mi respuesta. The total, el total of N and 246. Remember I said the total means you add. El total quiere decir que tenemos que sumar. Is the same as, lo mismo que B. Easy peasy. 373 more than. That means you gotta add. 373 más que. Tengo que sumar. The product of N and 374. El producto de N y 374. Is T divided by, dividido por 224. Now just write that a lot closer together. But there's the answer. Ahí está la respuesta. Okay, I'm near the end because these are the ones that I got from the challenge zone. So you guys will get these also probably. 122 times C. 122 multiplicado por C. Reduced by 338. Reducido por 338. Is the same as. Es lo mismo que 256 subtracted from. 256 restado de. So that's like this. If you're going to subtract it from. The product of C and 132. El producto de C y 132. And that's my answer. Aquí está mi respuesta. $227 decreased by V. Okay, look at this one. 227, it's decreased by V. So 227, 227 disminuido por V is the same as, es lo mismo que the quotient of M and 385, el cociente de M y 385. Okay, A fewer than. That one, the way it's worded, looks a little funny, but A fewer than. A menos que. So that part is going to be like this. 289 is equal to the quotient, el cociente, of 105 and A. There's my answer. Ahí está la respuesta. Okay, and that's it with the examples. That should cover everything that's on there. Once again, the assignment is IXL section I.5. IXL section I.5, write variable equations. IXL sección I5, escribir ecuaciones con variables.